Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. Just sit back, grab your coffee, and check out the new intro.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's okay. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, just a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, just a promise and a threat.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. Like always, I'm your guy, Hector, and I am joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. TC, how are you feeling?
Shoot, after that intro, I'm ready to, go clubbing or do
yeah,
something,
baby.
get vibing, man. Let's go. Ready to box, baby. Let's do it, man.
Yes,
That's a great intro.
sir.
I love it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Pumps you
Shout
up
out
in
to
the
my
morning.
brother. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Phil Porto, who put that new intro
Props
together
to
over
Phil.
the weekend. Props to my guy, Phil. Let me do a roll call with the chat real quick. Mr. Mikey Mazza and the 4 Train Express. What it do?
Mazza.
Of course, my guy, TC Stills, was in the chat. My guy, Jonathan, good morning. How you doing? L.I. Yankee King is in the building. Delano Still Jr.'s in the building. Mr. James Cook is in the building. Salute, 3 capital S's to the dome. And of course, the lovely Grace Monroe is in the building. Grace, how are you doing? Good morning, you Yankee fanatics. TC, I know we won yesterday against the Oakland A's, but a win is a win. How
Yes.
are you feeling with our team bouncing back against the deathly Oakland Athletics, bro?
I'm kind of relieved. It was it had some moments there. It was really close, and wow, it's the A's, and we're struggling. 2-2 in the sixth. I was uh-oh. But yeah, we had some power surge there. We had Glaber and then LeMahieu, and then hey, some guy named Hicks hit a home run.
He who
What?
should not be named. We'll get into that
There's going to be a
momentarily.
parade. There's going to be a parade for him down the Canyon of
Oh,
Heroes.
he already got his contract extension, right?
Yeah,
But
his numbers being retired and everything.
his Yankeeography is in the works right now. Mr. Damian Serrano's in the building. Good morning, Damian. KC Fun Time, what it do, what it do. And of course, the great, my man, Mr. Alan Landsman. And Mikey Mazza, he has an announcement just so everybody can know. At the end of this month, the last Saturday of this month, Mr. Mikey Mazza and my Uncle Tats are starting a podcast that is called The Pinstripe Express. Guys, Mikey Mazza, Uncle Tats, please let everybody know which channel that's going to be on. I am super excited. And this is what happens when us Yankee fans, when we form a community, we get bonds, we get friendships, we become besties with one another, and we start podcasts. How you doing? Look, you hear them outside of my building.
Yeah.
They're super excited about
They're
the
ready.
Pinstripe Express. They're ready to go.
Yeah. They're lining up. The cars are lining up to get there.
Oh, yeah. And, like I said, the Yankees did win yesterday. Hold on, I got to put this right here. I got my show notes right next to me. The Yankees won, right? And we got to come out with some news, right? Before we get to the doom and gloom, we got some good news. When it comes to Aaron Judge is coming back. Shout out to the guys at Talking Yanks and, of course, SNY Yankees on Twitter. John Boy and Dumb said Aaron Boone confirms what Aaron Judge said. He'll definitely be back tomorrow with no restrictions, right? SNY Yankees, they reported that Aaron Judge is taking batting swings in the cage, and oh my God, we have missed that tremendously. But the question comes, who is going to be let go? Who is going to be sent down for Aaron Judge? TC, I'll throw it over to you, and I'll give my response right afterwards. Go ahead, brother.
Well, there's a couple guys, but my feeling is that the way they've been treating Peraza is he'll be the one that goes. I mean, I don't know if that leg's fully healed yet. He might end up going on the IL. But there's other guys between maybe Bowers or Calhoun, or even Oswaldo Cabrera. He's been struggling, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be Peraza. He's gonna be sent down.
Yeah, listen, all of us Yankee fans would love it to be Aaron Hicks, right? But we'll
Yeah, that
get to
ain't gonna
that
happen.
later. That's not going to happen because after last night, he had a home run yesterday. He had an RBI double the game before in Tampa Bay. Brian Cashman boots are quivering right now because he's super excited and he's
I think
saying he's
I
sitting
think he
back.
just extended him 3 years
Oh yeah,
from that last
he
night.
gave him an 8-year offer last
Yeah.
night. But Brian Cashman is like, yeah, I'm the smart guy in the room. All you fans are the dum dums. When it comes to front office execs, or when it comes to radio personalities trying to proclaim that they're smarter than us fans, they're just the real bozo in the room. When it comes down to it, it's against the Oakland Athletics. He
Mhm.
had a home run against the Oakland A's. If anybody needs to be cut or released from this team, it should be Aaron Hicks.
Yep.
Case Fun Time just reported that the Mets signed Gary Sanchez.
Yes, he did. I just saw that.
Wait, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Hey, at least he's in Queens, right? At least he's in Queens, right? That is hilarious. If Gary Sanchez makes it to the major leagues with the New York Mets and he starts slugging home runs, that's going to be utterly hilarious. Breaking news, hot off the press. Gary Sanchez is signed with the New York Mets. What's your thoughts on that, TC, before we continue with the Judge conversation?
Well, good for him. I mean, he couldn't make it in New York with the Yankees. I don't know how he thinks he's going to make it there and with the Mets, but you know how these guys always come back and haunt us. I mean, they end up doing better on a different team. So, hey, all the best to Gary Sanchez. The Mets fans are going to feel the frustration when he gets behind the plate, missing every ball and all the 100 million strikeouts he's going to produce. But hey, good for him.
SNY Mets, they reported it an hour ago. I don't know how I missed it. The Mets are signing Gary Sanchez to a minor league deal. He will be reporting to Syracuse, AAA Syracuse for the Mets momentarily. New York Porch Sports, shout out to New York Porch Sports, who is a bit of a troll account on Twitter. He says, Gary Sanchez says the real New Yorkers are Met fans. I
Oh,
spend a lot of times with the Yankees, and one thing I notice is when the Mets are doing well, the city is hot for them. The catcher told Mike reports baseball, maybe no team can touch them. It was always a thing that we must do. Listen, when it comes to that, Gary Sanchez, I wish you the best of luck in the world, but don't be a bozo, Gary Sanchez. Shout out to the chat. We got some more people in the building. Sunil's in the building. Sunil, salute, 3 capital S's. If you guys can, please hit that like button for the boys. But let's get
yeah.
back into the conversation about Aaron Judge, because the captain not being in the lineup is something that we desperately have missed
Yes.
and we desperately needed. The record with Aaron Judge, I didn't even do the math on the record, but I know we're under 500 since Aaron Judge
Oh, yeah.
was put on the IL. It's happy that Aaron Judge is back, but when it comes down to it, we're going to need more than Aaron Judge if we decide, or if we
Right.
want to make a run at this division or at the wild card. When it comes down to it, what's your thoughts on the roster construction? Who do you think is going to be let go? What moves do you think, or do you think any moves are coming down the pipeline, TC?
Well, I mean, Judge coming back definitely gives them a huge boost. And after
Mhm.
yesterday, the offense got a little bit going. It was all home runs again, one dimensional. But uh, Judge lengthens the lineup. I mean, he provides a lot of thump in there, and they lack that. It's only going to make Bader. I mean, Bader has just been on fire, just carrying a
Oh yeah.
load, triples and homers all over the place. But as far as guys coming back, yeah, we're still missing Stanton. We're still missing Donaldson, which I don't think is even a big deal at this point.
Who?
Um, but with Stanton back in there, and the way Bader's swinging the bat, and DJ LeMahieu's catching a little bit of fire there, and
Yes.
it I think they're poised for a little bit of a hot streak, a little run here. I think it's going to happen, and I just I mean, with the home run that Hicks did last night, I don't know if Cashman, has changed his mind, but I
Mhm.
would love to see him gone. I think once they get rid of him, it'll just open up the roster for, some of these other young, like Chaparro still needs to come up. We've got
Mm-hmm.
Dunham. We got, there's guys knocking on the door to come up, and I would rather see somebody who actually tries to play baseball to be on this team, honestly. But Cashman knows better, so I guess his way is the
Yeah.
best. So
Yeah, that's why Brian Cashman decided to come into this season without a starting left fielder because
yeah.
he knew better and he knew Aaron Hicks was going to catch on fire May 9th of the season. So this is all a plan from the smart one, Brian Cashman. You
Hmm.
you brought up Harrison Bader, and shout out to Harrison Bader. He
Yeah.
has been on fire since returning. He is batting 381. He has 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. He has a couple of triples, a couple of doubles. The speed plays on the
Hmm.
field. When you have speed in the lineup, it actually plays, and we've seen it over the past couple of days. Harrison Bader had a couple of home runs, and you said it. When it comes to this team, maybe with Aaron Judge coming back, we could go on a run. It could have
Hmm.
started this weekend against the Tampa Bay Rays, but we
Yeah, that
dropped
was
the
a
last game of the series,
that was a tough
which was
one.
heartbreaking. That was a
Hmm.
tough one. Happy that the Oakland A's are like a soft landing spot for us. We should sweep this entire series. If we lose any games in this series, it's going to be egg on our face again, and Yankee fans
Yeah.
are going to be frustrated. You also brought up DJ LeMahieu, who, if I'm not mistaken, is on a 6-game hitting streak or a
Hmm.
7-game hitting streak. And in that hitting streak, he is hitting 390 and some change, if I'm not mistaken. He had another hit yesterday, raises his batting average to 278. Anthony
Hmm.
Rizzo had 2 hits as well, rose his
Yep.
batting average to 292. Anthony Volpe, he was 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Hopefully, Volpe can turn it around tonight. They have another game tonight at 7 o'clock. But with Aaron Judge coming back in this lineup, it just lengthens the lineup. It makes it a hell of a lot
Hmm.
stronger. And we do not need Isaiah Falefa to be the
No.
6-hole hitter in this lineup. We don't need that, right? But before we continue, let me shout out the chat real quick. Mr. Rod Thompson is in the
Yeah,
building. Rod,
Ra.
what it do, my guy?
What's up,
Salute,
Ra?
salute, salute. We got FJ in the building. FJ, how you doing, my guy? Salute to you, brother. Hope all is well. If you guys can, please hit that like button. My man Casey Funtime said, Hector, did you hear that more people are starting to think something is fishy / suspicious with Tampa Bay? Possible funny
Mhm.
business like Houston with the 19-3 home record. Listen,
Yeah.
KC, I was watching my guys over on WFAN, Carton and Roberts, and they brought that up. They alluded to it a little bit, and they're not the only ones that are alluding to that as well. So
Hmm.
I can't point the finger. I have no evidence. But if there's something cooking in Tampa Bay that's a little bit fishy, we got to
Yeah.
investigate and we got
I
to see
heard
what's
that too.
going on.
I think
So
I
I
think
heard
there
what's
is.
going on. I'll
Yeah.
do my deep dive over the next couple of days, and I bring whatever I report on Wednesday. But as of right now, I have no news. If you guys have any news, please let me know. What else do we have here in the chat? Hold on. My guy Jonathan said, Hector, now that you did an overview of the trades over the last 20 years, what trades did you see coming at the deadline? Right now, Jonathan, it's kind of hard for me to pinpoint any trades at the deadline. We are May 9th. Maybe after this month, I'll be able to see
Mm.
which teams are more in it and which teams are more out of it. As of right now, if the Diamondbacks were out of it, I would really try to trade for Ketel Marte. He is a
Mm.
switch hitter.
Very nice. Yep.
Love his bat, love his speed as well. I think he will do damage in our lineup. But the Diamondbacks, they are in it in the NL West. I'm just not too sure right now what are the options that you could go out there, because now that there's more of a parity when it comes to teams being able to make it to the postseason,
Right.
I'm just not sure how many teams are going to be waving the white flag in May or in June, for instance, right? So at the end of this month, going into next month, a month before the trade deadline, we'll be able to weigh out which teams are more out of it, which players are on the trading block. It's kind of tough right now, May 9th. What's your thoughts, TC, on that?
Yeah, it's at least another month heading toward the deadline. We'll see who ends up fading away from the standings, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm seeing the White Sox fading away. I think they might have a fire sale, and it's surprising to see the Cardinals how bad they're doing, and but I don't see them getting rid of anybody. I'd love to have some. I'd love to have Arenado, but I don't think they're getting rid of him. But yeah, there's some teams that are gonna fade out, and we'll know more in probably about a month, like you said.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, right? Last year, when I was doing the Yankees Morning Brew for last season, towards the end of last season, I brought up that during the offseason, if the Yankees are going to let go Aaron Boone, they should make a hard push for Yadier Molina
Oh yeah.
and his brother Jose Molina to be his bench coach as the manager for
That
this
would be
team.
great.
You
Yes.
see what's going on in St. Louis. I got an executive from St. Louis, the president of baseball operations, who said this about Yadi. He said there are many parts of our team right now that are not performing to what we expected. I do think the nuances of the catching side plays a big part. We haven't had to spend a lot of our energy thinking about it because of what Yadi did for us. You know the saying, you sometimes feel like you had a coach on the field. That was Yadi. That's how we were able to teach young players. Even though you might have a game plan, Yadi had the ability that allowed you to evolve during a game. Real-time decision-making, real baseball IQ. Yadier Molina, if he's not a manager for the St. Louis Cardinals by the time next season starts, the Yankees need to make a hard push and try to get Yadier Molina to be their manager. This is the type of manager that's an old school type of player, while at the same time being able to understand analytics and being able to be a coach on the field. Bring Yadier Molina to this team so he can help develop these young players that we have, and at the same time be a good manager. What's your thoughts on that, TC?
No, I love the idea of having Yadier Molina as a coach, but at the same time, with this organization, I think they tie the hands of the manager. They make all the calls because you could. I mean, Aaron Boone is. I thought he was a good baseball
Same.
player.
Same.
And understood the game. He's from a lineage. His dad, his grandfather. Brother, all come
Uncles.
from baseball. So the moves he's making are just I don't think they're from him. They're from Cashman and the analytics. So it doesn't matter who they bring in. Molina, they could bring in Mattingly, Scioscia, Willie Randolph. It doesn't matter. If they take away the power from the manager, what good is it? What good is it?
Yeah. We know before every game, there's a meeting between Aaron Boone, the analytic guys, and Brian Cashman about this should be your game plan. If you have this scenario in the 6th inning, go with this. If you have this scenario in the 7th inning, use this guy, etc., etc., etc. And I agree. If that's the way baseball is heading, and the new decade that we are in right now, the 2020s, you're hamstringing the manager, and it's going to be hard for that manager to perform. But I think
you have to have a feel
Molina,
for the game. Every game is different. You can't base every game on analytics from past years. You can't do that. Just like the game Boone took out Herman. The guy was cruising. What are you doing? He needed 2 more outs. He takes out Marinaccio when he was cruising in the 8th inning, brings in Clay Holmes, tie game. I mean, you have to have a feel of game to game. That's if you don't manage that way, then you might as well just manage from the computer. Just sit at home and do it.
No, listen, TC, when it comes to that, I definitely agree with you, right? When it comes to the front office having a big impact on the manager and the game plan for the game, especially when it comes to analytics. But the other aspect of it, of being able to teach young players how to go about their business, right? We got a young player that we're going to talk about right now. I'm going to bring him up. We got to talk about Jason Dominguez, right?
Yeah.
The Talking Yankees reported that a high-ranking person in the Yankees organization told Michael Kay, don't be surprised if we see Jason Dominguez in the big leagues this season. With the way that this team is struggling right now, with the way that we don't have a starting everyday left fielder. Shout out to my guy Tommy on Twitter as well, who reported that the Yankees are definitely giving Jason Dominguez reps in left field. He has started 21 games in the outfield. 11 of those games have been in center field. 10 of those games have been in left field. He only played center field in his first 2 seasons, and you see the Yankees are transitioning him to a left fielder right now in the minor leagues. What do you make of this, TC? Because right now, I don't think we'll see Jason Dominguez over the next couple of months. I don't think that whatsoever. But depending on where this team is at in September, or depending on where Jason is at in September, we may see the Martian. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think so. I think we will see him, but like like you're saying, I think it's going to be toward the end of the season.
Hmm.
He's had a rough start to his Double A season so far with a lot of strikeouts, and but he's picking it up. He's getting on base. He's getting some more hits now. He's getting adjusted to the Double A pitching, but
Hmm.
he has to get it to Triple A, and then the majors. And from Triple A to the majors, there's a big jump. So I don't think he's ready anytime soon. I would say late August, maybe September. But yeah,
Oh,
I mean, he's better than Hicks, that's for sure.
oh no, he's definitely better than Hicks. But you alluded to it, right? He started off horribly. I think he was
Yeah,
0 for his first 20 or 0 for his first
something
25,
like that. Yeah.
something like that, something to that degree. But check this out. Over the last 11 games, he is batting 276
Mm,
with a 512 on base percentage. That's the one thing that Jason Dominguez has not lost when it comes to his eye at the
a lot
plate.
of
He
walks.
has a
Yeah.
512 on base percentage, a 586 slugging. It's a combined 1.098 on base percent. I mean OPS, and he is walking 30% of the time. He's
Yeah.
walking over 30% of the time. So he may not have gotten the hits to fall in when it comes to singles,
Hmm.
to left field, right field, or the home runs. But the one thing you could point to is his approach at the plate, his eye at the plate. He's not expanding his strike zone. Look at
Right.
Anthony Volpe, another perfect
Mm,
example. Even though Anthony
yeah.
Volpe, batting average wise, has been struggling, hasn't been able to get those hits to get on base, he is still walking at a high clip. He is not expanding his strike zone, helping the other pitcher out. So when it comes
Hmm.
to it, you may be struggling from the offense to get a hit, but your on base percentage is still good. And he's walking over 30% of the time. I know it's only Double A, but that's a good sign. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. No, that is a great sign. I mean, on base is huge. I mean, and he's got
Mm,
speed, and he's a switch hitter. He's an athlete. He'll get to the balls in left field that Hicks can't get to. I mean,
mm-hmm,
he's not a Aaron Judge out there, but he's a better outfielder, than IKF or Hicks. and
mm-hmm.
and we need athletes. I've been on other chats. I've been telling everybody we need more baiters. Baiter is a
Yes.
gamer, and
Yes.
Dominguez reminds me of a baiter. If he gets going, he's got the hustle, the speed. I mean, I think he's in the mold of baiter.
Mm-hmm.
He might not be as good of an outfielder, but we need those kind of guys when we just don't have enough of those athletic gamers.
No, I 100% agree. Listen, when it comes to the Martian Jason Dominguez, we've been hearing about this kid ever since before the pandemic. Before COVID happened, we've been hearing about Jason Dominguez. We are in 2023. This is around the time that we was thinking that he'll be cracking the big league roster. If he could catch on fire over the next couple of months, he's knocking on the door. He
Yes.
may have an opportunity to run away with this left field job, and we
Hmm.
desperately need it. Look at who are running out there in left field. Aaron Hicks, IKF, Oswald Cabrera. Even though Hicks and Cabrera, they both had home runs yesterday,
Jake
you
Bowers.
can't Jake Bowers, who give him all the credit in the world.
Yeah.
He just can't field in the outfield.
Yeah,
He's
he's
not an
making a lot of it.
outfielder. He's
Mhm.
more of a first baseman. He
Right.
cost us the series over the weekend in Tampa Bay. We
Yeah.
thought Bowers was going to come up and give us a jolt to this lineup, but he hurt us. He hurt us more than
Mm.
he helped us over the weekend in Tampa.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I mean, I'm pulling for that kid, but he's you can see clearly that he's not a left fielder. He might be more of a right fielder, but left field he was having problems.
He was
And
horrendous in left field.
yeah, it's too bad.
Horrendous.
I mean, we're moving all these guys. Can we just have a set team with a
Mhm.
set lineup and a set position? We got to end this experiment with all these guys moving all over the place. It's
Now, I would love to see Bowers as the DH tonight. I would
yeah.
love to see Bowers as the DH, have DJ LeMahieu play second base or have him
Hmm.
play third base.
Third.
If you want to
Yep.
keep Glaber at second, keep Glaber at second. But I want to see Jake Bowers being the DH tonight. I know JP Seals was a left-handed pitcher yesterday. That's why they had IKF in the lineup. But if there's a righty on the mound today, I haven't looked at it yet. Please, let's see Jake Bowers as the DH, and let's see if he can add a bit of a jolt to this lineup. We got a couple of more topics to talk about. We got an update on Luis Severino, right? But Brian Hoch, he brings it up. Luis Severino said he thought it was unnecessary for the Yankees to have him pitch a live batting practice this week. He wanted to get into a game for Low A Tampa. I'm one step closer now, and hopefully I can be back on the field soon. Aaron Boone, thank you, Brian Hoach, also reported that Aaron said that Severino will pitch Wednesday for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Severino said he would prefer to pitch Thursday. Rail Riders have a morning game on Wednesday, and he doesn't want to stay overnight in PA. When it comes to Luis Severino, I got to take the floor for a second, because I wrote this up. And this is the thing about Severino. And Yankee fans, do not beat me up with what I'm about to say. Oh, we got Slick Buckets in the chat. Slick Buckets, what it do, my guy? Salute, salute, salute. He said, I am late, but who shall not be named? Talking about Hicks. I love his no doubt, Sully. I cannot lie. Salute, salute to you, my guy. But I'm about to go off when it comes to Luis Severino. Hopefully you guys don't hate me for what I'm about to say. But the New York Yankees have been famous, especially in recent years, for inheriting massive headaches and taking too long to get rid of them. Some fans might not agree, but one of those unfortunate headaches, it has been Luis Severino. Regardless of last year and how he pitched in 2022, the reality is that this right-handed pitcher who came up from our minor league system, he has only appeared in 26 games since the start of 2019. And once again, kicked off another season this year on the IL. He's made it a point to make each and every step of the way more and more and more difficult. He called out the organization last year because he didn't like the way that he was placed on the 60-day injury list. He withheld injuries. He did not let the Yankees know he was injured back in 2018, which led to him being put on the 2019 IL list, which led to him having surgery. He missed 2019 until the end of 2021. He forgot the start time of a playoff game back in 2018. The receipts are there. Now, in the midst of his recovery from another injury, Severino is publicly disagreeing with the manner in which the Yankees are handling his rehab process. Something that should hardly crack the daily Yankees headlines has arrived, and it has arrived in full force. The erosion or the crumbling of this relationship, it isn't all Severino's fault. The organization has played a role, especially Brian Cashman, but Severino can't seem to help himself when it comes to ripping his employees, aka the New York Yankees, which is something the Yankees should have taken notice this offseason. Now, we brought up the tweets from Brian Hoach. We brought up that Luis Severino will be starting for Scranton Wilkes-Barre this Wednesday, but him coming out saying he would rather pitch Thursday because there's an off day and he doesn't want to be stuck in Scranton. Listen, I understand who wants to be stuck in Pennsylvania for an extra day. But when it comes to Luis Severino, this relationship is getting bad and it is getting nasty. What's your thoughts on that, TC?
Yeah, unfortunately, it does look like they're not in agreement here with a lot of the stuff. I mean, Severino wants to pitch, and the Yankees are holding him back, and it kind of reminds me of the Jabba rules they had, and when Jabba Chamberlain was only, he can only pitch this, and he's not going to be a star, this and that, all these rules. But you know what? When it comes down to this start, in Scranton, Luis Severino, you got to do what the organization tells you to do. They're the ones who pay you. If you can't take it by staying one night in Pennsylvania, Scranton, whatever, then too bad. I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel, you guys are making millions and millions of dollars while we're sitting here, paying all these high prices for everything. We don't feel bad for you. Do what the organization tells you to do. They seem to know, what they're doing, but I can see otherwise with Cashman's idiotic moves. But they have doctors. They know what they're doing. So just go along with the program. Don't rush yourself. We need you in the long run. We need you in August and September. Don't go out there and pitch and get hurt 2 days later. We don't need that. So just stick with the program and get with it, and we'll see you soon. So just hang on there, buddy.
Yeah, when it comes to Luis Severino and my guy Acevedo, salute to Senor Acevedos. He said, Hector, if we're not signing him, well, let him build his trade value and trade him at the deadline. Simple. Sitting him is not the way to do it because you're paying a lot of money. Absolutely, I agree. But this is what I asked myself. If you're an opposing GM and you see what's going on with Luis Severino right now, why would you trade for him? Especially when he's going to be a free agent at the end of the season.
Exactly.
If you're going to trade for him, you're not going to give anything of value back.
Just a rental.
He's just a rental, maybe some low A prospects, if that. If the Yankees could get anything for Luis Severino, why not? If not, then get whatever you can get out of him from the mound. Shout out to my guy, Halal and Backstrays Baseball. Halal, salute. Halal. Listen, Halal, let me know when you're off of school, buddy, so you could join us. I know you're in the chat right now. I know you probably snuck away, but shout out to my guy, Halal. Rod Thompson, Severino
he's in the school bathroom. Texting.
Yeah, that's what it is. Severino is in the no talking section. Yes, he needs to be put on timeout, and he needs to be put on timeout ASAP. James Cook says $20 for a beer means we should get a voice. Absolutely, James. And this is what I've been saying. With the way that this team has been performing, and people coming out of the woodwork saying that, oh, Yankee fans are mean to their players. Yankee fans shouldn't be booing their players. They need to be supporting their players. Did you not see what happened last week with the St. Louis Cardinals? That fan base literally booed that team off of the field. And I haven't heard not one peep from the talking mouths and media saying that the Cardinals fans were in the wrong. The Cardinals fans need to be nice. But whenever us Yankee fans, when we let it be known our frustrations, we're being told that we're in the wrong. We're being told that we're stupid fans. We're being told that we're spoiled, that we don't know what we're talking about, that organizations aren't run by the team, or by the fans, and by their voice. Listen, I said it last week, right? On Get Yanked. WFAN in the 90s. They started a campaign between Mike Francesa and Mike and the Mad Dog and the Met fans to get Mike Piazza to Queens. That was the big driving force that made the Mets organization trade for Mike Piazza. If that didn't happen with WFAN and Mike and the Mad Dog and Mike Francesa, we don't know if Mike Piazza would have been a Met. But the fans were calling up to WFAN every day, telling the ownership group to go out there and trade for Mike Piazza. What did they do? They traded for Mike Piazza and they signed him to an extension. Let your voice be heard. The fans are here for a reason. We pay the ticket prices. We go to these games. You know what's crazy? I was looking up on Indeed just to look up on Indeed when it comes to job listings. TC, do you know how much the Yankees pay the people at the ticket box to sell tickets? Do you know how much they pay them? Take a wild guess.
Minimum wage?
$15 an hour. That is so disrespectful. You're an organization that is worth $7 billion, and you're paying your ticket people $15 an hour. Are you kidding me? Major League Baseball. I got an email yesterday for a job. They offered me a job to be at home, right, reporting on the game, monitoring the game, and reporting on it. They offered me $17 an hour.
Oh my God.
$17. You got to be kidding me when it comes to this job market and the low wages that they're offering people. You guys are $1 billion franchise, $1 billion industry when it comes to Major League Baseball. And you're offering $7 billion with the Yankees, but $1 billion industry with billions of dollars when it comes to Major League Baseball. And you're only offering people $17 an hour? What are we doing here? Jonathan says, when is the next open panel? The next open panel will be this Thursday coming up, my guy. Mr. Vikings is in the building. Vikings, how you doing, my guy? Backstage Baseball. Halal said, on a trip. Should be off on Thursday, though. See your boy. Just wanted to stop by and said hi. Halal, you know you're always welcome here. Let me know the night before.
He has more days off than Aaron Hicks or Judge or something.
Definitely. $17 in New York is it absolutely is, and that's the
how do you live? How do you live on that?
And that's the thing. When I became an EMT, right? This was back in 2015 before the city minimum wage went up to $15 an hour. But when I first became an EMT working transport, I was getting paid $12.50 an hour. when I was as an EMT. As an EMP to EMT working transport, I was getting paid $12.50 an hour. That's sad. But anyway,
That's a super important job. I mean, come on.
yes, let's get back. And this is why I'm on YouTube talking sports right now. Let's get
Yeah,
back into it.
better off. Hey, we're better off having you here. We love it.
I
That's what
appreciate you, my guy. I
appreciation.
appreciate you, my guy.
Yep.
But we got an update, right? And this
Yeah,
is
let's
a
hear an
little bit
update.
of the update when it comes to Mr. Carlos
Oh
Rodon, right?
no.
Over the weekend, I know a lot of people were saying that Carlos Rodon won't even pitch this season, right? I'm gonna go to John Boy first. John Boy said on Talking Yanks that he's heard from sources within the Yankees organization not to get your hopes up about Carlos Rodon pitching this year. And then we heard a rebuttal from Carlos Rodon's wife, Ashley Rodon, and she calls bullshit on the report about Carlos Rodon won't be pitching this year for the Yankees. Now, if his wife is coming out there saying that that is BS, you got to weigh it. Obviously, she has a bias because that's her husband, but at the
Right.
same time, all these reports are coming out, but you have a firsthand knowledge, somebody who has firsthand knowledge of the situation calling BS on that. What's your thoughts about this Carlos Rodon fiasco and roller coaster that we are on right now?
Yeah, it's definitely a fiasco. I mean, I mean the big accusation, and he hasn't stepped a foot on a mound yet, and we're on May 9th.
Yes.
It's very concerning, and I don't trust the Yankees. They say, oh, he'll be out 2 to 3 days, which turn into 2 weeks, or 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
turns into 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't trust anybody in this organization of what they say about these players and these injuries. I seriously would not be surprised if he doesn't pitch, a game this year. A
Mm-hmm.
back issue is a big it's a
Oh, yeah.
big deal. I mean, you're
Mm-hmm.
going through it. I don't think you could be pitching, with the back issue like
Nope.
you're going through. So I don't know the severity of it. I don't know if the cortisone shot helped. I mean, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not, right there in the clubhouse with him. So I don't know how he's doing, but this does um this helps with the with his wife saying that it's a BS. I hope it's more on her side than the Talking Yanks quote. So I mean, we need him desperately. I think we're sick of seeing Schmidt and Brito and these other guys that are just not not pulling their weight. And but I'd like to see him at the end of the year too. So let's go, Carlos. Let's let's hear from him. Please say something.
Yes. And that's the thing. We haven't heard out of the horse's mouth. We haven't heard
Yeah,
Carlos Rodon speak on the situation.
right.
Now, what's alarming to me, and you alluded to it about my back situation that I've been dealing with or whatever. Acevedo, he got an epidural shot. Like I said, I've had epidural and cortisone shots over the last couple of years. But when it comes to it, what's alarming to me, and this is something that I spoke to my doctor with last week at my doctor's appointment. What's alarming to me is that they said that they're going to send him for a cortisone shot after he got a second MRI, an up-to-date MRI.
Mm,
They didn't let us know what the MRI revealed. They don't have to let us know. HIPAA laws in place. They don't have to let us know. But they didn't give us a diagnosis. And that's what is alarming to me.
yeah.
You came out there and said that you're sending him for another cortisone shot or for a cortisone shot to relieve the pain, while at the same time not letting us know what was he diagnosed with after that MRI. That is the alarming part to me. Because
Hmm.
normally after you get the MRI, the imaging is up. You're able to see, all right, cool. The imaging is there. We see 3 herniated discs. He needs to go for the
Right.
cortisone shot, or he needs to go for the epidural shot to alleviate the stress or to alleviate the inflammation in those discs. He went for the MRI result. All we heard about is him going for another cortisone shot, but not the reason why he was going for the cortisone shot or what the MRI showed. That is the most alarming part to me. So, like you said, I want to lean more towards what his wife said. Hopefully, she's in the right, not
Hmm.
talking Yanks and John Boy and them. But the reality is, he may not pitch for us this season. He may be
Yeah.
Carl Pavano 2.0.
Yeah. Or Jacoby Ellsbury. I mean, um, the frustrating part to all the fans out there is, why didn't this come up before he was, acquired by Cashman. Like
Mm,
this had to have shown up last year with the Giants. I
mhm.
mean, just all of a sudden in spring training, there's a back issue. It's just really frustrating, especially with
Well,
the
first it
Montas
was a it was
deal.
a it was a forearm strain. It
Yeah,
was first a forearm strain that led to a back issue. So we're not sure if while trying to recover from his forearm strain, he was trying to compensate in any
true.
bullpen
Yep.
sessions that
Hmm.
led to a back injury, or we don't know if he was at home and he fell on his ass. Because
We don't know.
that can
Yeah,
happen as well. He could
they
have
won't
rolled
tell
out
us.
of
Yeah,
bed. He could have fell while he was in the shower, or anything could have happened to Carlos Rodon and we not know of it, right? So there could have been a
exactly.
lot of different scenarios out there that could have happened. All we know is that in spring training, he had a forearm strain that led to a back situation right now. Like I said, we're not sure if he was overcompensating in whatever rehab he was doing or whatever assignments he was doing, and that what led to his back starting to flare up right now. All we
Mm.
have to go on is what the Yankees are telling us, and they're
Yeah,
hardly telling us anything.
yeah. They don't. They pick on the fans, but they don't tell us anything. So
That's a fact. They want to
yeah,
call us stupid. They want
yeah,
to say that we don't know anything, but they never want to tell us anything.
yeah.
FJ said there is an attitude difference between Pavano and Rodon. I think Rodon is dying to pitch.
True.
Pavano turned up with all these weird diagnoses. I thought Pavano was scared to pitch. That is very true, FJ.
Hmm.
And that's the one thing that I'm giving to Carlos Rodon over Carl Pavano. When it comes to Carl Pavano, he was a bit different because he made his first 4 starts with the Yankees. What happened to Pavano is that Melvin Mora hit a line drive back to him that hit him right in the head. So
Yeah.
we're not sure if that messed with him psychologically or that messed with his mental, but we know that's what happened. He got hit in the head by a line drive from Melvin Mora and never pitched for the Yankees until I think a couple of seasons later on. I think it was at 2008 or something like that. Or 2007. He pitched for the Yankees. I'm not sure. KC Funtime says Rodon has a long history of injuries. This isn't new.
Yeah.
Agree.
He's
James
dying to get
Cook.
out there, though. I
Yeah,
know
you can
Rodon's
tell.
dying to pitch.
You can tell
It's
he's dying to
frustrating.
get out.
It's
Yeah, you
very
can tell.
frustrating for him. Yeah.
Yeah, James Cook reports when someone James Cook said when someone reports and they just say sources,
Yeah.
then I never believe them. I see what you're saying, but at the same time, journalistic integrity, I like to give the journalists a lot more faith than what some people want to give, but at the same time, they have the right to protect their sources. It's literally journalism 101, and it's actually the law also. You have to protect your sources at all costs. But yeah, I agree with you, James. Anybody that's saying sources say 9 times out of 10 is full of baloney, right? But I like to give the journalists more credit, more belief than most people would like to give them, right? Because I could say sources told me at Yankee Stadium, and that's just me talking to the security guy saying that he
Right.
saw Carlos Rodon running in the outfield, right? That's my source, the guy that works security or the guy that sells peanuts or the fake t-shirts
Yeah.
outside of Yankee Stadium.
The guy who works at the ticket booth, sister's brother's dog walker or something.
Yes, the guy that's at the ticket booth making $15 an hour. Absolutely, bro. What else we got over here? Hold on. Sunil says, I agree with FJ, except public perception is what messes up the whole scenario and creates unwanted social media drama. Agree 100%, Sunil. Acevedo says, Cashman got all these doctors' reports and ignored it. Rodon, Montes, Rizzo, etc., etc., etc. And you can't ignore that because when it comes down to it, we've been the walking injured over the past 2 seasons when it comes to injuries. Last year, we started off the season on fire, fuego.
Yep.
But the one thing that was key for the Yankees to start off with that great record that we did was that for the first month and a half, almost 2 months, we didn't have anybody on the IL.
Right.
After 2 months, everybody was going on the IL,
Yeah.
and that's what
Dropping
hurt
like
us.
flies again.
That's
Yep.
what hurt our team dramatically last year. And that's why we went down the funk that we went to. We got my guy Joe in the building. Joe, what it do, my guy? Salute.
Joe.
And we got 30 people that are in the building right now watching us. If you guys can, please hit that like button. We have 24 likes. Let's smack the likey button so we can get to 30 likes. Smack the likey button. And if you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We are sitting at 521 right now on our way to 1,000. Later
Oh,
on
yes.
in the week, we were announcing our giveaway because we told everybody once we get to 500 subs, we will be giving away a sweater. We're still working on it with our sponsor right now, but this Thursday on the Yankees Morning Brew, we will be announcing the winner. So stay tuned to that one. It's going to be a good one. But now we got the cream of the crap that we got to talk about right now, right? We got the one, the only, Mr. Aaron Hicks, who he hit a home run yesterday. Shout out to my brother Pete Seminetti over on nyynewstv, who said, Aaron Hicks homers. Holy shit, Aaron Hicks homers. And that was my thought yesterday when I heard that, right?
Even
Talking
Michael K was
Yanks,
surprised.
Michael K was definitely surprised, but at the same time, he was rooting for Aaron Hicks just to go on radio, just to tell us Yankee fans that we don't know what we're talking about, right? Talking Yanks reported first home run of the season for Aaron Hicks. NY Porch Sports, just so that you guys know, NY Porch is a troll account. It's a fake account. It's like the Onion from back in the day. But New York Porch report, Aaron Hicks booed while rounding the bases for a home run. Even here, Yankee fans have not forgiven him. It was a joke, right? But at the same time, it is a funny little joke, right? Because I wouldn't be that surprised if Yankee fans were booing this guy as he was rounding the bases for a home run. TC, you know that anytime Aaron Hicks does anything positive, I'm the first one to go on Twitter and be like, well, he still sucks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we all know it. But he pimped that home run like it was, like an everyday, situation for him. Your first home run of the year. He's sitting there watching it. It's hysterical. I mean, honestly, I hope he gets on a hot streak. I mean, to help the team, because you haven't up to this day, you haven't helped the team one bit. You're hurting the team. So, I mean, good for him. I hope he goes on a hot streak. I mean, I don't know if the fans will ever forgive him. But I think this was just, a one-time thing. He'll go back into his slump, go 0 for 50, and be done with him. He'll keep getting starts now. He's gonna have his number retired. He's gonna be batting cleanup today. I mean, they're gonna put a statue in front of Yankee Stadium. I mean, come on, one home run. Let's go. Let's give it. Come on. Enough already. It's hilarious.
Guys, order your Yankeeography of Aaron Hicks right now. Put your pre-order in for his Yankeeography because it's on the way. But yeah, when it comes to Aaron Hicks, I have never met a player, an athlete in New York sports that has been hated as much as Aaron Hicks has been hated by his own team, the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time that we've had a Yankee or any player in sports that has been hated this much by his own fan base?
I mean, just going back to last year, we could say Gallo, but not this much, not as much as Hicks.
Well, with Gallo, it was like a season and a half.
Yeah.
With Aaron Hicks, it's been since 2017, 2018.
Right. He was the second coming of Bernie Williams, and he's definitely not anything close to that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anybody that was honestly hated by their own team as much as he is. I can't think of one.
I don't either, and I'm a Knicks fan too, and I could pinpoint a lot of horrible Knicks that we have had, but I don't remember like the last time any player was hated by. Maybe you had a lot of Yankee fans hating on Alex Rodriguez, but at least Alex Rodriguez was in the MVP conversation every year.
Oh yeah. He carried us in 2009. Come on.
Yeah. And that's when Yankee fans forgive him. Then when they forgave him in 2009 when we won a World Series. But off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody. Guys in the chat, let us know if at any point, if you remember any sports figure, whether it's the NBA, NFL, MLB, that was hated by his fan base as much as Aaron Hicks is hated by his fan base.
And Hector, we even had a lot of Red Sox players come over to us. Wade Boggs, Johnny Damon, Roger Clemens, and they were not even close to hated as much as he is. And we hate the Red Sox. So that goes to show you what's going on here with Hicks.
You had Ron Artest punching people in the stands, and he wasn't hated as much as Aaron Hicks is hated at now, right? And that's the crazy thing. Ron Artest literally punched the person in the face during the game while a technical foul was being assessed. He punched the fan in the face. Granted, those fans had it coming with the way that they was throwing stuff at Ron Artest. I probably would have punched one in the mouth also. But at the same time, he wasn't hated by his fan base the way that Aaron Hicks is hated by his fan base. Meta World Peace, please, Hector, doesn't get better. No, no, absolutely. FJ said if Hicks hadn't opened his big mouth with the 30 for 30 comment, I don't think we'll be having this conversation. It's 50-50 with me on that one, FJ. It's 50-50. What surprised me is that he went to the Dominican League last year to play, to get his game better, to actually do something. He was horrible. He hit under 200. The team that he was on, they released him before spring training even started. But he tried to play it off like, oh, no, I had to report to spring training. No, the team that you were playing on in the Dominican, they released you because that's how bad you was doing over there in the Dominican Republic. And that league, I'm not trying to crap on that league, but that league, it had players that probably couldn't even pitch in AA, and you were struggling against them. Jonathan says Reggie Jackson. I don't think Reggie Jackson was hated by Yankee fans.
He did enough. He did enough to carry the 77, 78. There's no, come on, not even close.
I don't.
No way.
And you get a nice retrospect on the whole situation with Reggie Jackson. If you guys watch his documentary that I think is on, it's on Hulu. If you guys watch the Reggie Jackson story, like that documentary, it gives you a different perspective of the whole situation between Reggie Jackson and Thurman Munson, right? When you take your Yankee goggles off and set them to the side, you get a whole different view on life, right? So I highly recommend, if you guys want to understand Reggie Jackson and that story, please go to Hulu and watch that Reggie Jackson documentary.
Very good.
And this is not me trying to promote anything. I'm not getting paid. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. It was just a real good documentary. You saw it, TC?
Yes, very good. I mean,
on Amazon
even
Prime.
from the beginning,
sorry, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Prime. Yeah, even dealing with all the racism, and I mean, you got to see what time he came up in the 60s. Yeah, so yeah, it's very good. I mean, I love stories like that you find out more about the the backstory on the player, because we don't know. All we see is what they're on the field, what they're doing on the field. We don't see what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And that was very good.
The impact that he had on Dave Stewart when Dave Stewart was a young kid, and Reggie Jackson just going into that neighborhood in Oakland, which wasn't the best when it comes to poverty and stuff like when it comes to like social aspects or whatever, but just being in that neighborhood, taking those young kids to the game and just doing a lot for that community. Reggie Jackson deserves a lot more credit than what he has gotten in his post-playing career. But yeah, go and check that out. Hold on. Russell Westbrook, maybe because Laker fans were desperately calling for his head and calling him Westbrook and stuff. Maybe that's a good one, Acevedo. Definitely is a good one. But yeah, go check out that video, that documentary. It is on Amazon Prime, like my guy Sunil posted in the chat. Carlos Beltran in the booth. When it comes to Carlos Beltran in the booth as an announcer, maybe.
Casey,
I know there was.
Casey brought up Bill Buckner.
Bill Buckner, you right?
Yeah,
that's a nice little competition for Aaron Hicks. You're right about that, but when it comes to Aaron Hicks, I honestly believe that he is in a league of his own when it comes to him and his love from the Yankee fans. Daniel Jones comes close. Yes, as a Giants fan, I cannot stand Daniel Jones, and the fact that he is getting paid $40 million to throw a football, it is disgusting. That's overpaid. How much that they're being paid. Definitely being overpaid. I understand it's the market for quarterbacks, but it's disgusting that that's what he's getting paid.
Yeah, that's wow. I didn't realize he was making $40 million. Oh.
It may not be $40 million on the dot. It may be in between 30 to 40 million.
It
but
doesn't
still,
matter.
That's
come on. If I had 30 or 40, I wouldn't care. Come on, give me 10. I'll take 10, 5. I mean, can we go somewhere in the ballpark?
Casey with a good one. Terrell Owens, maybe. Zach Wilson from the Jets, maybe.
He lost his job.
Let's see. Kevin Youkilis. I'm not sure if the Red Sox fan they hated Kevin Youkilis. He was a bit of a nice little figure over there in Boston. and he
someone
never
brought up
worked
Michael
out with the
K.
Yankees. Yeah, Michael K. Right there, 100% on
I'm
point
right
with
there
that.
with you. I've had enough of him too.
When it comes to Michael K, and this is the thing, I always love to put this out there before I jump into conversations about him. I grew up with Michael K as my voice of the Yankees, right? Watching Yankee games when I was younger, I was blessed to have Michael K. I was blessed to have John Sterling. I was blessed to have a lot of the guys I was able to watch. Bobby Mercer as well before he passed away.
Oh, I miss
Ken
him.
Singleton as well when he was a part of the Yankees
Jim Cott.
broadcasting booth. Jim Cott as well. But when it comes to Michael K, him as an announcer is legendary. He should probably go down in New York Hall of Fame when it comes to broadcasters, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his takes on the Yankees on his show, not saying that the Yankees call him every day and say, this is what you need to say about the team, or this is the agenda that you should push out there towards Yankee fans. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that he tries to go out of his way to prove that he's smarter than us fans, right? When he dissects and he breaks down the situations that's going on with the front office, with Brian Cashman, with the moves that he made, he always tries to he always tries to make a deep dive to try to point out that he's smarter than us fans.
Yeah, he talks down to the fans.
Yes, and it's very smug. It's very arrogant the way that he talks down to us fans. That's what it is. It's the arrogancy on how he talks to us fans, right? And there's been times that I've wanted to call up to his show and just give him my peace of mind, but I'm not going to do that. But when it comes down to it, you cannot defend the Josh Donaldson trade at this point. You can't defend that, right? Even Michael K is not defending that, right? With the way that he pitched yesterday, JP Sears, you cannot defend the Frankie Montas trade. You can't defend it.
No
you
way.
cannot defend the Aaron Hicks extension. You cannot defend the Luis Severino extension. Look at what I just pulled up about Severino. He missed games from 2019 into 2021. That's literally 2 seasons right there of games that he missed. And that's because he didn't disclose an injury that happened in 2018. Right. So that's another one you can't defend. The Yankees trading for Joey Gallo. Like I said, Ezekiel Duran is helping the Texas Rangers right now. We're not sure what Clayton Beater is going to do for us in the next year or so, right? So that one is still 50-50. He looks really good when it comes to Clayton Beater, right? You look back on all the other trades that I pointed out. You guys went through that whole diatribe with me, all the different Yankee trades that he messed up. At this point in 2023, there's no defending Brian Cashman. Right, the IKF being in left field, going into the season without an everyday major league ready left fielder, you cannot defend those moves whatsoever. Giancarlo Stanton, when we should have waited to get Bryce Harper on Manny Machado, the reason why we're hung-strung right now, and the reason why Masataka Yoshida is not with the Yankees and he's with the Red Sox is because of Josh Donaldson and his money. That's another missed opportunity. He is killing it over there in Boston. I think he's hitting like 310 or 315 if I'm not mistaken.
He's on fire. Yeah, the last 10, 12 games, he's just batting 400, 7 home runs. I don't know. It's crazy.
And he's not striking out. And that's the thing. He's putting the ball in play and he's not striking out. And
Japanese
that's the type of hitter that we need.
Yeah. And we all the fans knew it, but Cashman, no, we don't need him. No. Well, IKF is great. He's the best.
Hold on, let me just pull up his stats right now. I have them. Thank you to Baseball Reference for his stats. He is batting .321 with 6 home runs. Hold on, right now. Hold on. He is batting .321. He has 13 walks. He has an on-base percentage of .403. He is slugging .536. And check this out. He has 129 plate appearances. Do you want to take a wild guess how many times he struck out?
10 times.
11 times.
Ooh.
11 times. You was close.
Yeah.
He has walked more than he has struck out this season. Can you believe that?
Aaron Hicks strikes out 10 times in a 2-game series.
Guys, we got 35 people, 39 people that are watching
Man.
right now. If you guys can, please hit that like button. We're trying to get to
Yes.
40 likes.
Hit those likes, guys. Come on.
I appreciate all the new subscribers we have. We are sitting at 521. If you're watching this and if you aren't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. If you have friends that are fans of the Yankees, please forward them this channel. Let them know that there's some good Yankee stuff that's going on right now. Let's go through the chat real quick while we still got time. Casey Funtime said the offense problem still persists. Who has the most games with 3 runs or fewer?
Yep.
Yankees take the cake with a league-leading 15. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Thank you, Casey Funtime, for putting that in the chat. But at the same time, you just gave me a little heartburn right there.
Yeah,
3 runs or fewer. The Yankees are leading with 15. Jesus Christ!
And I don't know if you remember that when we kicked off this show early in the season, I said the offense is going to struggle. This is the concern, and nothing has been done about it. It's sad, but I mean, it's just. I mean, I know the injuries have piled up, but for a team, a lineup to go through and all be so bad right now. I mean, they are honestly terrible. They wait till the end of the game to even start hitting. We don't know if they're going to score 2 or less, or then break out like they did yesterday, or the other, a week or 2 ago they scored 12 runs. Wow, whoop-de-doo. In between, they score 1 to 2 runs, if that. And
thank God for Harrison Bader. Thank God for because if we didn't have Harrison Bader over the weekend in Tampa, that's it. We would have lost all 3 games.
Would have been swept. Yeah,
we would have got swept in Tampa, right? Arguably, we can argue that we should have won all 3 games, right? Especially the first game and the last game. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? But we didn't.
We don't catch any breaks, too. That's the thing.
We don't catch any
breaks right now.
Talking about Garrett Cole, let's talk about Garrett Cole for a second because he didn't have it Sunday, and after the 4th inning, you could tell that he didn't really have it. He wasn't on his ace-like stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that has to do with them moving him up a day when it comes to his days, when it comes to pitching. I'm not sure if it was just, one of those starts that he was perfect for the first 6 starts of the year and he had to throw in a clunker. When it comes down to it, I'm just not sure about what to make of this Garrett Cole start in Tampa. He was horrible. He gave up 2 home runs, the first 2 home runs of the season. Go ahead, TC. What's your thoughts?
Well, the Yankees got out to that 6-run lead, and I think he felt comfortable. And instead of being focused like, every game where the Yankees don't score, make it seem like it's a 0-0 game and get focused and take care of the lineup. He got comfortable. He was even laughing. Somebody hit like a foul home run and he was smirking and laughing. That wasn't the typical Cole. I don't know what happened there. And we need him in those games. That's the first place team we needed to beat. And that's such a letdown. I just hope it doesn't carry over to his next start. I really don't.
Yeah. Oh, especially when you have a 6-run lead. When your offense, who has been struggling to score runs all season, when they wake up and they give you a 6-run lead and you surrender it back over the next 2 innings, literally the 5th and 6th inning.
Yeah.
He gave up back-to-back home runs to the 8th and 9th hitters in that lineup.
I thought the game was a wrap when it was 6-0. I thought we got Cole. Let's go. We got 2 out of 3.
Yeah. I thought so also. I saw the score. I'm like, Garrett Cole is pitching. I'll be able to go on my walk and I'll be able to enjoy the rest of my Sunday. But no, I was literally in the middle of my hike. I got the notification on my phone that the game is tied 6-6. I was like, what are we doing? What's going on? Did our bullpen give it up? No. And credit to our bullpen because our bullpen has been fantastic this entire season. If it wasn't for our bullpen, our record would be worse than what it is right now.
And the thing is about Aaron Boone. So he's willing to take these guys out with 80 pitches in the 8th inning like he did with Herman, but he waits way too long to take out Cole, and he gives up the 3-run homer. Oh, now I'm going to take him out. You could see he was struggling. Why did you take him out earlier? We had a full bullpen ready to go. It's these moves that I tell you, man, are just killing this team.
We got my guy Hector Cruz in the chat. Listen, Mr. Hector Cruz, I like that first name of yours. You handsome son of a bitch. He says, I was at the game Sunday. The crowd was yelling to take him out. And Cole kept looking back at the bullpen to see if anyone was warming up. And that's a frustrating part of it. When I was rewatching the game and I came upon that, great point, Hector. I definitely agree with you. When it comes to that, it's come on. What are we doing? And this is why fans get so frustrated with Aaron Boone, because of that right there. His in-game management, his in-game decisions. Like you said, you took Domingo Germán out because he gave a single up the middle to Steven Kwan. Steven Kwan, who nobody can strike out. We understand he's going to get on base by any means necessary. Domingo Germán had Jose Ramirez looking stupid and had Rosario looking stupid in that lineup. But you take him out to face those two guys. You didn't want him to face Rosario and Jose Ramirez, who he was dominating for the entire game.
And to bring in Clay Holmes.
Who struggles whenever he has a guy on base to start an inning.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where his mind is. I don't know. Was the analytics telling him to keep Cole in there? I mean, come on. You manage the game that you're seeing. Stop looking at the papers and come on. This is enough here. They need to change their philosophy. It's getting really absurd.
Yeah. FJ pointed out, in total fairness, the defense didn't help Cole out either.
Yeah,
agree.
That's true.
100% agree. Especially Jake Bauer out there in left field doing olays left and right. Not sure what he was thinking about. And that goes to show you that when it comes to our team, when it comes to the roster construction, all of this falls on one person and one person alone. Brian Cashman.
Yeah.
That's all this falls on. It falls on Brian Cashman because he decided to let Andrew Benintendi walk away. He decided not to go out there and sign Masataka Yoshida. He is the one that decided we're going to go into the season with Aaron Hicks, who is way past his prime, or if he ever had a prime, and Oswald Cabrera, who is an infielder playing out of position. Jake Bowers is a first baseman playing out of position. That's who our answer is in left field. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is an infielder who is playing out of position. We have all of these guys playing out of position. Thank God Willie Calhoun decided to hit over the past couple of weeks, because even with him, he can't even play the outfield. He's a DH.
Yeah, right. And these guys are just being, they're doing what they can do. The management's telling them where to play, so that's where they're playing, and it's not their fault. It's not.
Acevedo just said, Hector, calm down. Remember that our whole season is scripts. The process. And that is the most annoying part of it. After every game, whether we win or whether we lose, it's the process that they talk about. It's this player should have been in this lane, or this lane is for this person, or this. Screw the process. Screw these lanes. Go with your gut. Go back to old school managing. Like I've said, I've had the conversation with both Eric Kratz and with AJ Pierzynski. Two former major league catchers. AJ Pierzynski is a two-time All-Star. Having a conversation with him, and they agreed with me when I brought up this point. They said that analytics are just advanced metrics, advanced scouting, which I agree with.
Yep.
But they agree with me when I said this. You can have all the analytics in the world. You can have all the data in the world. But if you do not have the right people in place to interpretate that data and put it into use, you are shooting yourself in the foot. You can have all the advanced scouting, all the advanced analytics, you can have all of that. I'm all for it. Give me all the data. I'm a data muncher. I munch on the data. But if you do not have the right people in place to interpretate that data, you are shooting yourself in the foot. And right now, the Yankees do not have the right people in place to interpretate that data and take that data and to put it into practice onto the field.
No. So, I mean, I say throw it all out and just bring in an old school manager and just manage like the old days. Honestly, I'm tired of this. But this hasn't worked. It hasn't worked since 2009.
And this is the thing that frustrates me when it comes to, because whenever you have advancement in technology, whether it's the Industrial Revolution, whether it's AI that's going on right now, look at baseball, advanced analytics. Whenever you get this influx of new technology, the new technology is literally used to undercut the workers. They use this new technology to justify, oh, we're going to pay managers less because we have the analytics department that has all these numbers that tells the manager what to say. There's no reason to have Joe Torre making the amount of money that he was making because we have an analytics department that gives us the data to give to the manager. There's no reason to pay Mike Sosa the amount of money that he deserves because we have the analytics departments to interpret the data, Terry Francona, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's no reason for these major league organizations, these businesses. You got to remember, it's a business at the end of the day. They got one motive, and one motive is to turn a profit. And one of the ways that you could turn a profit is manipulate salary, right? Mm-hmm. You pay people less, you have more profit on the board to show your shareholders, right? So if they can use this analytics thing, if they can use this data thing, the advanced scouting and all this to make it a reason why they pay the manager less, you know they're going to do it. Yeah. You know they're going to do. Why are they going to pay an old school manager the amount of money that he is requesting for his trade when you have this analytic department that can undercut the manager? You could pay the analytics cheaper than you're paying the managers.
Just feed him the info.
Just feed the manager the information.
Yeah. I don't like where the game's going. You have to have a feel for the game. Every game is different. And then are these guys even watching, the scouts even watching these players? I mean, you can see, the fans see the progress or how these players are performing on the field. But yet they're gonna go to analytics like 7 years ago he was batting 350 on grass at night, and you know what? Of late, he's not hitting. Okay, you can see it. Bench the guy. No, I mean, none of this analytics is just, you can't do it based on one game. You know, game in and game out. You can't. It's got to go. Especially for the Yankees, they don't know. They have no clue. The Astros, the Braves, the Tampa Bay, they seem to know how their analytics are working. But with the Yankees, they have no clue what they're doing.
Check this out, and people call me a conspiracy nut, and people call me crazy when I bring up these things, right? Joe Girardi as a manager for the Yankees, right? This is when he first got the job as a manager with the Yankees. Mm-hmm. He was getting paid $3 million a season. Aaron Boone getting paid as a manager for the Yankees $1.5 million, not even 1.150. Remember what I said?
Yeah, you're right.
They justify paying the manager less because they have the analytic department in place to give the manager information. So they can justify paying the manager less because they have analytics to feed the information. So why am I going to pay a manager all this money when I have a department giving him information on what to do?
Yeah, they're a business.
Right there. It's in your face. They're a business at the end of the day. It's about turning a profit at the end of the day. 2018 to 2020, Aaron Boone was getting paid 1.150. Joe Girardi, when he first became the Yankees manager, was getting paid $3 million a season.
Sad. Very sad. They're just in the business to make money. I understand. Yes, you want to make money, but you're in the business of a baseball team to win a championship. To the fans come out and pay good money for this, to watch a championship caliber team that you supposedly have. And we see this trash day in, day out, but you're behind the scenes. Cashman's throwing money all over. Hey, we made all this money. Look at, hey, we're still making money. They don't care. George Steinbrenner was alive right now. Clean house. They would have cleaned everybody would have been gone. Everybody.
Yep.
Analytics, Cashman, Boone,
all of it.
Everyone. Take your crap, get out. And I'm going to start over.
And this is what I don't like because, and this is something that Michael K is guilty of, right? When we bring that up, hold on. Before I do that, shout out to Jason in the chat who came over from Grunt Baseball. Nice. Jason, what it do? Salute, salute, salute. If you guys don't know, or if you guys don't sub to the channel Grunt Baseball, I do a MLB pregame show Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. on that channel. Today, I'll be doing it with Jigga Man Porto, my guy Jigga Man. Make sure you
Jigga.
guys tune into Grunt Baseball. Do not miss my MLB pregame. We talk about all Major League Baseball news, and I give a little bit of the takes when it comes to the over and unders, when it comes to the betting odds. I'm not a betting guru, right? But I put my first bet in yesterday of the entire season. I put 5 bets in.
What
I got
happened?
4 of them right. One of them was wrong.
Ah.
And the one that was wrong was the Detroit Tigers versus the Cleveland Guardians. And I guess that's what happens when I take a whole month bashing the city of Cleveland because the Knicks were playing Cleveland. I guess that's egg on my face. But I was 4 out of 1 when it comes to my betting odds. So I may be a little bit of a betting guru myself, a little bit. So tune in later on today.
Definitely
Grunt Baseball, 4 p.m. for the MLB pregame show.
Be there.
And for my betting alpha. Be there or be squared. But getting back into this, FJ brings up a great point. FJ said, when I was a kid, the best managers were Billy Martin, Earl Weaver, Sparky Anderson, Ralph Hawk, etc., etc. They all won championship by knowing their players and going by their guts. And those names that you just mentioned,
Tom Lasorda.
Those are top class tiers when it comes to managers. I don't think we'll ever see managers like the managers that he just laid out right there. I don't think we'll ever see that again in baseball. I definitely do not see that.
No, these managers are all analytic driven and get fed from up top. Those old school guys, you can't. This is never going to be that type of manager. There's no way. They don't put up with this crap. These guys, some of these guys would be benched, and they don't do it. Billy Martin ripped Reggie Jackson out of the game, in the middle of the game. Who does that? No, that doesn't happen. I mean,
nope.
They had a better feel for the game each game. They didn't base it on what happened yesterday or 2 years ago. They said, this is what's happening now, and I'm going to go with my gut. That's what they do. They go with their gut, and things always worked out for them.
Hold on, I'm just trying to find just some data on Joe Girardi.
Bruce
he was
Bochy,
paid.
Another good manager.
He was paid $3 million a season when he was first hired as a Yankees manager. Like I'm saying, I'm not saying this just to sound like I'm a nut job or anything like that, but I just put it out there, right? I report it. I just report on the information that's in front of me. Like I said, if they can justify paying the manager less because they have this analytic department that prints out information to give it to the manager, they're going to do it. Aaron Boone's making $1.15 million. Joe Girardi was making $3 million.
I can't believe that. But Boone is actually doing nothing. He doesn't manage the game anyway. He just looks at a notebook. So I'll look at a notebook for $1 million. Thanks.
You pay me I was about to say, TC, you pay me and TC $1 million. You can split it half. 500 for me, 500 for TC. We'll look at whatever analytics you want all day. We'll take the blame for your bozo analytic department all day if that's what you want.
Yeah.
If that's
and I can go make some bets with you.
There you go. We'll all be living happily. But we're about to get out of here, guys. If you guys can, shout out to my guy Darren from Grunt Baseball. Shout out to FJ in the chat. I know we got 37 people in the building, but we got 36 likes right now. If you guys can, please smack the like button. If you haven't hit that like button, help us get to 40 likes. We're trying to get to 40 likes by the end of this stream. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. My guy Jonathan, my guy FJ, Eric Wallace, who is tuning in from Italy right now. I hope you're enjoying your trip in Italy, Eric Wallace. My guy Sunil, Jason, again, appreciate you jumping over and giving us that sub. We are at 522. KC Funtime, my guy Pots and Pans. Alan Landsman was in the building. Senor Acevedo. Guys, make sure you guys tune into Grunt Baseball later on today because I will be on for the pregame report. I will be dropping the betting alpha as well. Like always, the open panel is this Thursday coming up. TC Stills, any last words for the fine people at home?
Just salute to the chat. It's fun as always, and let's just take the rest of these 2 games against the A's. Let's get rolling. Can't wait to see Aaron Judge back in that lineup. Bader, just him and Judge bashing the ball all over. Let's go. Let's just take it in. Tampa's coming to town. Let's just roll. Let's go 7-0 this home series, please. Yes. Let's do this.
Yeah, 7-0, like TC says. But if you guys missed the new intro for the show, here's the new intro on the way out. Peace, deuces.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's okay. You know I